1 inch. I'll come in 1 inch from the bust point. 1 inch from the bust point, as you can see. So if I come out 1 inch from the bust point, I'll place back down my ruler 1 inch and connect. Now I'll come from here at 0.5. So I just measure from here now, 0.5 I'll mark. I'll find this point on my pattern ruler. If you are using this kind of pattern ruler, I'll just use it to make that curve. I'll align it. Can you see how I'm aligning it? I'm aligning it exactly the way it is right there on the thumbnail. I'll just curve in this way. Can you see? Okay, so once that is done, from here I'll come in by 0.5. I'll mark out 0.5 from the neckline this way. So I'll continue my curve. So I'll come in with this curve. Okay, so just look out for curves in your curve ruler. That'll just give you a perfect match. So from here I'll curve in, and once I've curved in from there, next I will adjust my curve. I'll keep adjusting my curve to match up with what I have here right there. So I'll take it there. Can you see? So we have made this neckline, and it's as simple as this. Okay, so it is on the bust point that we have this keyhole connection. So people, that is how to go about this, and we are done. So this neckline is as simple as what we have done now. So with your own measurements, you can alter, you can increase or decrease the parameter. You need to be creative, okay, at this point. This is a small scale drafting, and I came out by 0.5, 1 inch, because it's actually small. So when you are making yours, you might happen to find this more than 1 inch, maybe 1.5. Just try to be creative with it. Okay, so you'll be able to get the keyhole shape accordingly, but at least you have a guide on how to go about it. So I'm cutting through my bust dart accommodation. I'll go this way and go that way. So this is it. Next I will do is to go into the keyhole. Okay, so the keyhole is part of my neckline. I'll just cut off the hole. As you can see, I'll cut it exactly the way it is. So you can also create, when you are sewing this, you can create a facing. Okay, you can create a facing for it. So the facing you are going to sew, the facing is actually going to be technical, okay, when you are going to sew it. So if you create a facing, that depends on if you are making use of a facing or you actually want to use a full lining for it. So if you are making use of a full lining for it, it means you will cut this as fabric, cut another one as lining. So once you cut them, we have a technique of sewing them. Okay, I have a detailed video on how to sew this kind of neckline. It's right there on the channel. Okay, so you can click on the keyhole sewing neckline. Okay, I did it with a lace fabric, but this one is, you are not going to put any fabric or any illusion. It's as open as this, but it's the same pattern of sewing it. So once that is achieved, I'll now come over to cut what I have on the shoulder line. That is, if you are following me to make shoulder dart for this, this is it. I take off the dart, I close up my bust dart. But if you are making a princess dart, you can go ahead, you know how to make your princess dart. We have lots and lots of video on how to make princess dart right here on this channel. So I have closed up the dart. So I'll come in here and I'm going to cut through the shoulder darts. Okay, and then I'm going to cut through this and take off the dart and close up my bust dart. So now bust dart is closed, people. All I'll do now is to put this together and do what? Close up my bust dart. Okay, so it's as simple as ABC. All right, people, so that is that, and that is how to go about this dress. So I have my patterns F1, that is front number 1, front number 2, and front number 3. Okay, so these are your patterns. So like I said, it depends on how you actually want to go about this sewing. So I will advise you to finish your neckline first. Okay, if you are making use of a facing, first of all, sew your facing. You know how to sew your facing, okay? So you can just create the facing. Okay, let me just do something for you. If you are making use of a facing, so your facing is usually at 2 inches, but this is a small scale drafting. I'll just do 1 inch facing, 1 inch facing, 1. But if you are making this facing, it all depends on what you have. If you want your your facing to be uniform, you know that the distance you have from here to here is small. Okay, so if you use 1 inch, you can make your facing at 1 inch. Okay, so I'll just pretend, just marking the lines. Any inches you want to make sure you determine it from this line. So your facing runs this way. You are going to trace out this facing. Okay, so your facing is going to be traced out. So that is your facing. So once you cut out this, you place it right on top and sew and turn, top stitch and iron. If you want to learn more on how to make facings, that is a beginner's class tutorial. You can also join us on Telegram. We have full detailed videos on how to create your facings accordingly. So this is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. All right, so once that is done, okay, after you have sewn your facing, the next you will do is to join your bustiers. So after joining your bustiers, you take the measurement of what you have on the neckline for front and back and make a mandarin collar for this. Okay, so the mandarin collar, you are going to sew it right here, okay, to this point. So once you have sewn the mandarin collar on this part that there is no stitches, that is open, you are going to tuck in. So the mandarin collar has a pattern at which you are going to use to sew. You first of all sew the upper part and tuck in the inner parts of it, so that once you place it, you can just top stitch right on top of it down to this point and take it back to the back. Okay, so this is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and thank you for coming once again, and see you in the next one. Bye.